Broadcast Obituaries, Gone Too Soon. We exhume a short-lived TV series, episode by episode, give it a proper eulogy, and answer the burning question, was it canceled too soon or not soon enough? Analysis, nostalgia, and our final verdict on TV's fallen heroes.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Rob, your usher to the box office of the past.
And I'm Aaron, and welcome back to Broadcast Obituaries Movie Reviews. That's what we're going to be doing in this series. We're going to talk about some movies, hopefully most of them from the 90s. Today starts a little earlier, because that's just when the franchise kicked off, but it's going to be a real treat for you. So I guess I'll just tell you, because I'm excited. We are starting with Trancers. I know everybody out there listening has heard of this. It's the most popular movie, bigger than Star Wars, right? Bigger than Back to the Future. Yeah. It was the movie of 1984 in the UK or 1985 here in the US.
For real. Yeah. I know this is one of, I'm not going to say it's one of your favorite series, but you have told me about this over the years, and this is my first opportunity to watch one. So it's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting, folks.
Yeah, just, like a little history for me with this movie. This is probably one of my favorite franchises. Not necessarily, well, it is because the movie is just great. I love the flavor, the tone, everything about it. All of its flaws, I'm here for it. But this was a series that I started watching with my dad back in the mid-90s. And we saw the first Trancers on HBO. And then eventually we caught the second and the third one on HBO. We hit the local Blockbuster. That's a blast from the past. For parts 4 and 5. But then part 6, we just never could get a hold of. And finally, right when I was like a senior in high school, I think, sounds right, it finally was going to air on HBO at like 3 in the morning. So my dad and I both took mid-evening naps, and we woke up just to watch the 6th movie. And it was fantastic. So it was just something that I remember bonding with my dad over, which is probably part of the reason why I love the franchise and the movies as a whole. But they're really good movies.
It looks like Trancers 6 came out in 2002. What year did you graduate from high school?
2001. So that would make sense. It was right after high school. I just graduated. I knew it was around there somewhere. Yeah. Yep. So.
But our first one here came out in 84, huh?
Yeah, 1984 in England, and then 1985 here in the U.S. Before we jump in, Rob, can you tell us what was happening in 1985?
It sounds suspiciously like you want to go back in time.
I do. Back in time. Back in time. Back in time.
You're in luck because I have prepared a back in time segment for us. Brief, but we have one. So I'm going to take this from the point of view of the U.S. This came out May 22nd in 1985. That day saw the premiere of the James Bond film A View to a Kill. Roger Moore's last James Bond had Christopher Walken. And if you recall, it also had Patrick Bashaw, who we discussed in our Earth 2 series. He played Patch, the dream boyfriend, the creepy dream boyfriend.
Creepy dream boyfriend. Yep.
Yes. So that actually came out this day, the same day as this movie. At the top of the box office, though, was Rambo First Blood Part 2. The number one song in the U.S. was Everything She Wants by Wham! Exclamation point. I don't know if you could hear the exclamation point.
I did. I wanted you to shout it more, but as people are listening and driving, you don't want them to wreck.
I don't want to scare anybody.
So be careful out there, everyone.
Right, absolutely. I don't know Everything She Wants. I don't know about you, but I don't know that one.
Yeah, I know the song.
Okay.
I do know the song. Yeah.
You are much more versed in 80s music than I am.
I have a special spot for 80s culture, music, everything. I love it.
Another popular song at the time, this one I do know. It was by Simple Minds. It's called Don't You Forget About Me. That part's in parentheses, apparently. But Don't You Forget About Me, very popular song. I know that one much more than I do Everything She Wants by Wham! The top TV shows for the month of May. And remember, this is kind of the end of the season, the end of the TV season. But number 3, Murder, She Wrote. I watched a lot of Murder, She Wrote as a kid.
I did,
because
too.
My mom watched a lot of Murder, She Wrote.
My dad watched it, and my grandma watched it, so it was just on in the house. So we watched a lot of it. That and Perry Mason.
Oh, yeah. I love Perry Mason. Good stuff.
Yep.
The number 2 show was Family Ties. I did not watch a lot of Family Ties. I watched a little bit, but
yeah, I've watched them in reruns. Alex P. Keaton. Right. I'm a fan. I like it.
Nice. And the number 1 show, it's a sitcom. Do you have any guesses? Mid-80s sitcom. What was very popular at the time? It's The Cosby Show. Cosby Show.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Hugely
Watched a lot of that
popular
too.
at the
Yeah.
time. So did I. So did I. I loved it. I loved it.
Yeah.
Other popular shows, though, that were on at the time include The A-Team, Facts of Life, and Knight Rider. Those were all, they had seasons going that ending in 85 and were very popular shows. And just for anyone who's curious, later in the year, that fall, we saw the premiere of The Golden Girls. Hey, Aaron,
Yeah.
thank you for being a friend.
You're welcome. That was
Appreciate
good.
it.
I
Appreciate
like
it.
that.
Thank you. So
Yeah.
that's all I've got for Back in Time today. It's a pretty brief one, but
No, that's
kind of
good.
sets the
That's
mood.
cool.
Sets the mood for what was going
Yeah,
on in the
it's-
80s.
Yeah, it's nice because, I mean, you were probably much older than me, but in 85, I was 3
Then and
years
now.
old.
Then and now.
Yeah.
I was very old.
Yeah, so a lot of my love for the 80s hit in 89 when I was old enough to, like, start paying attention to pop culture and things like that. So I was on the tail end of the 80s. Definitely a 90s kid.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. Thanks for the back in time. Are we ready to jump into Trancers?
Let's talk about Trancers.
All right. So Trancers was released when tech noir was huge, right? So think about things like Blade Runner, Terminator, right? These were the kind of things in the 80s that were hitting big, and Trancers definitely has that feel in it. But is what it does really well is it throws in that real heavy like dose of detective pulp storytelling. I don't know if you picked up on that. I'm sure you did.
Film noir. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, it was, and it's just brilliant. And it's, the opening scene shows it off. It was really good. Did a little research. It was the flagship production for Empire Pictures. I feel bad for Empire Pictures because Trancers, while an amazing franchise, flagship is got to be a loose term because I don't think Empire Pictures is around anymore. So it didn't do much good for them. And if this is the best they got, then, it's sad.
I assume they probably specialized in B movies. And, if that's their niche, then that's fine.
Yeah.
B movies are B movies for a reason,
Yeah.
So a few cross over into the mainstream consciousness, but there are plenty of people that love the cheesiness and camp of a B movie. So yeah, I get it. I think, if I recall correctly, this was actually started by Charles Band, who was the director of Trancers. So he founded.
Right. Yeah, he
Empire
founded the
Pictures.
company. Yeah.
Okay.
And he specialized, and I know I've seen some other movies of his that I can't place right now, and I didn't think ahead of time to make a list, but he was really good at making like just the $100,000 movies. That's it. These weren't $1 million budgets. These were cheap, inexpensive movies. I think is where he won out here, and I think part of the reason why, Rob, you watched Trancers and you texted me afterwards and you were like, it's fantastic, just absolutely loved it. And I knew that you would. I knew that it was going to fit your feel.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that got us, and part of the reason why we like it, is it was written by Danny Bilson and Paul DeMeo, and you are familiar with both of these writers.
Am I?
You are, yeah.
Okay.
These are, they're like a duo team who would later give us the movie The Rocketeer.
Oh,
Yep. And
awesome.
the 1990s Flash TV series.
That's awesome.
So, and I think if you start thinking about Trancers, The Rocketeer, and the 90s Flash series, you can definitely get that tech noir feel and all of it, right? It's just, it's something that's there. It's a part of it. That comic
Definitely.
book feel is baked in.
Yeah,
So,
that's fun.
yep. Okay, so if you haven't seen Trancers, you should go and watch it. Pause this show, go watch Trancers, and then come back and check it out and listen to what we have to say so you can yell at us, disagree with us, probably agree with us because we're never wrong. It's going to be great.
Especially about TV and movies.
Yeah.
We'll wait for you. Go ahead.
Yeah, we'll wait. All right, thanks everyone. Okay, so
Welcome back.
at the center of this movie is Tim Thomerson, plays our main character, Jack Death. When you watch this movie, you're going to see Jack Death and you're going to think that is a 50-year-old, detective. No, sir. He is 38 years old at the time of filming. You would never know it.
It's been a rough 38 years for him, I gotta tell you.
It was, yeah. He's not salt and pepper. He is straight up gray hair, and it's just amazing to me. But Tim Thomerson plays a 23rd century cop who travels back in time to 1985 to Singe. You'll hear the word Singe a lot. A cult leader who's turning people into mindless killers that they call Trancers. These are kind of zombies. They're mind controlled. I don't know. They definitely want to bite you a lot, which I guess...
Part is weird.
Yeah, it's a little weird, but it's fun. It's entertaining. Thomerson originally, and I didn't know this either, maybe you did, Rob, was originally a stand-up comic.
I did see that listed on his Wikipedia page, yeah.
Yeah, So I would love to go and try to find some of his old stand-up.
I'm sure
if
it does not
anywhere.
exist. I can't believe it exists, but yeah, that would be interesting. If I can say, the entire time I watched this movie, I sat here going, who does he remind me of? Or what have I seen him in? Mm-hmm. And I don't think I've seen him in anything. I mean, he's been in a few movies that I have seen, but I don't recall his characters. Like, he was in Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I barely remember the movie. I definitely don't remember him from that movie.
Yeah, I can't place him.
But I think who he reminds me of is Aaron Eckhart, who played in The Dark Knight. He was Two-Face, Harvey Dent, that's his name.
Yeah.
He reminds me a lot of Aaron Eckhart, I think. Maybe kind of a cross between him and Thomas Jane. Like, I definitely see some similarities between all of them.
Sure.
But it was Eckhart who I eventually landed on. I was like, I've been watching Aaron Eckhart through this whole thing, storming around the set, singeing people. It's Aaron Eckhart. So if you're trying to visualize this, it's kind of an Aaron Eckhart type of person.
I can see that. Yeah.
Okay.
It's very similar.
Good. Glad I'm not alone.
No, you're not alone. Yeah, so Jack Death. He's awesome. You're going to love him. Co-starring in this movie is a 21-year-old Helen Hunt, playing the character of Lena, who is a punk rock girl. I was going to say chick. I don't want to get canceled. I don't know if you can say that anymore. And she, in this movie, starts working as a mall elf that gets caught up in Jack's mission, and a mall elf in 1985, not in the future. Some really interesting things here with her. She ends up doing 3 of these movies.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Which is just amazing. And then she hit it big with Mad About You, probably, and some other shows, and that was it. She was out of the B-movie world from there forward.
But she did a fantastic job in this movie. She was awesome.
Oh, yeah, she's really good. Yeah, I agree. So a couple things. When you're watching this movie, this is a Christmas movie. I forgot that when we sat down to watch it. So this might make my Christmas rotation now every year.
Nice.
And Jack Death goes back to 1985 LA. It is Christmas time. It's a really great scene with Santa Claus that we'll talk about that I love. This movie also gave us the first instance, they call this the long second in Trancers. But I think this is really the first instance of bullet time, which is what we got from The Matrix, right? Where the bullets are going and everybody slows down and, Neo does his bendy stuff. I think this is their first iteration of that, and I'm going to stick to it.
Yeah, a slight difference in that I think in bullet time as we know it, like literally everything is slow motion, including Neo in The Matrix. He's just able, in this long
Everybody
second,
slows down.
He is basically slowing down everything else, and then he is free to move about as time goes really, 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 really slow. So slightly different. I can definitely see the comparison.
Yeah.
I'll allow it. Sure.
You'll allow it. All right. Well, I'm sticking with it.
Okay.
And one other thing to pay attention to at the very beginning, and this is something I got to say, I'm a little disappointed. We don't get to see the future of LA enough in this movie.
That is my biggest issue with it, honestly. I want to see LA in the future. Actually, I want to see the whole future world. They talk about other planets. And how far in the future is this? 300 years, 400 years?
23rd century, so
2200s.
Yeah.
2400s.
2300s. Yeah.
23rd century is not the 2300s.
No, but I think in the movie they reference the year.
It's 23 something.
Yeah, I think.
23rd century, I'm looking at right now. 23rd century. So that's the 2200s. So it's roughly 300 years in the future.
Yeah.
250, 300 years in the future. This movie starts in the 23rd century.
Yeah. 2247.
2247, right in the middle of the century. So about 250 years in the future.
Yeah.
From when the movie was filmed.
Yep.
So it starts in the future, and my question for you earlier, Aaron, was how exactly does this time travel work? You've mentioned it a few times. He's gone back in time. How does this work? Because that's very important to the story.
Yeah, so you can time travel in the future. You can go back, but you can only inhabit the body of an ancestor in the past. So only your mind, only your consciousness goes back. Kind of quantum leapy.
Or Wolverine in back Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Except he goes back to his own body because he's old. Okay.
Yeah. I always compared it to quantum leap. That's what it felt like to me.
All right.
You're leaping into somebody else's body.
Has to be an ancestor.
Yeah. So the funny part is Whistler goes back, and his ancestor in 1985 Los Angeles is a police detective. How convenient for him to do all of his evil bidding. Jack goes back, and his ancestor is Philip Death, who is a reporter and a real hound dog, it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
So
it's... And just for anyone listening, death is spelled D-E-T-H. It's not like dead death. It's totally different. Totally
Yeah,
different.
it's completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's some fun moments where they make fun of themselves in the movie too.
Yeah.
So they're very aware of what movie
Yeah.
they're making.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so that's kind of the setting. That's where, Tim Thomerson, Helen Hunt, they're really the two that you're going to see the most of. First thing I want to talk about is a little bit of the future in LA. So when they start, so we talked a little bit about, Jack's singeing people. It's just, start shooting. But he is actively looking for Trancers. And is what this really feels like to me is heavily influenced by Blade Runner. It's very similar in that he's trying to hunt down these not human type people. Did you pick up on that?
I did not think of Blade Runner at all. What I thought of here, honestly, was the Terminator.
Okay.
Like, it felt like sending people back in time to stop someone from the future. Like, it felt very Terminator-ish to me. They're both B movies. Terminator was a higher level of a B movie, of course.
Right.
This is different. But still, it had a very similar feel to it. And that was actually, I read some reviews online. People actually made a similar comparison and said, it seems like a poor man's version of Terminator.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's part of my speculation why there was 7 months between the release dates in the UK and the US. Terminator came out in the fall of 1984. Like within a month probably of when this hit in the UK. My suspicion is they held it. Let's try to put a little distance between this and that other movie that's just like ours. Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense. I didn't even connect those dots. So you get a lot of really great noir exposition at the start of this movie.
Last January, I finally singed Martin Whistler out in one of the rim planets. Since then, I've been hunting down the last of his murdering cult. We call them Trancers, slaves to Whistler's psychic power. Not really alive, and not dead enough. It's July now, and I'm tired. Real tired.
Jack rolls up in his future car to a future diner that looks oddly like an old school 60s diner, just with more neon and a little dirtier. And he goes in, and this is probably my favorite scene. I don't know what you would expect the future to look like, even in a post-apocalyptic future where, like, we know that some kind of great earthquake hit, and Los Angeles is no longer Los Angeles. It's called Angel City, and most of the city is underwater at this point. But he goes into this diner, and I had forgotten, and I laughed out loud. They just had vats of boiling food right behind the counter. It looked dirty.
Gross.
It was so nasty. Gross. Yeah.
Hilarious.
He orders a cup of coffee, and the waitress is like, "You want the real stuff?" Like, holy crap, man! You get big spender. And he's like, "And I want real milk."
Yeah. None of that soy crap.
Yeah, that's what he says. So it's just, they really set the tone that this is like not a great place. But, that's Jack's doing his trooper thing. He thinks that he has killed Whistler at this point, and he's trying to hunt down the last of the Trancers. You would not be surprised to know that in this very first scene, you get to see your first Trancer. Now, who did you think, or did you even anticipate it happening, Rob, when you watched? This is the first time you saw it.
I had zero idea. idea. I knew nothing of what I was in for. Nothing.
Oh, okay. So, okay. Yeah. I couldn't remember.
Suspect that it was going to be the waitress, though. I did not suspect.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And it comes out of nowhere. He shakes down the poor guy just sitting at the diner eating, He's like, "Show me your papers. I got to see who you are." And he puts a wrist strap on him and tests him to see if he's a Trancer, I guess, which is weird. And then out of nowhere, the waitress is like on him with a knife. It's pretty great. So,
here's what I don't understand. I'm more than a little confused exactly by what a Trancer is. Okay, so Whistler, this bad guy, has done something to these people, which it seems
it's
like
mind
he has
control. It's psychic. It's a psychic ability.
It's psychic. Okay, I didn't know if he like hypnotized them or mesmerized them in some way or entranced them somehow through some kind of powers.
Yeah.
Why do they, as soon as they like get angry, they look like zombies? They turn pale or green. They have open sores all over them. If it's just mind control, why are their bodies changed like that? I don't understand.
I don't know. It kind of bothered me too, because they're not zombies. And I feel like what happens is Whistler can turn them on. So Whistler can trance you, and he can flip you on to do his bidding whenever he wants. That's what he can do to you. I feel like they just didn't feel good enough about the idea that these people could just suddenly attack Jack Death or be murdering without them looking like they are now something else, right? They wanted to surprise you with the idea that this sweet old waitress, he was just ordering real coffee with none of that soy milk, was actually about ready to try to kill him, right? So they're trying to show you that visual transformation. It's a little weird and it throws you off, but they
Especially
do it.
when the customer says, "Hey, you can't shoot her. She's just an old lady. She looks like a freaking monster. Why are you?
Yeah,
Why are you going
don't
to
defend
stop her?"
Yeah.
So if you're trying to like make it look like that's why she's attacking, why would other people be like, "Oh no,
Yeah.
take it easy on that monster"?
Yeah.
It's
It's a little weird, but that's
weird.
the charm
Or
of this
confusing.
movie. It's, you know,
I don't
they got
disagree.
some, yeah, they're catering to the audience to make sure we can clearly understand what's happening, but they didn't want their script to suffer. So yeah, so that's it. He singes his first transfer for the movie, and Trancers, so you can kill a regular person in the future, and their body just stays. You kill a Trancer though, and their body turns red hot and evaporates, and that's why it's called singed. Because I left a singe for you in there because they singe the ground that they're on as their body burns up and evaporates. I can't explain that part. I don't know what psychic
Okay.
ability does
All right.
that, but
all right.
it's a thing in this movie.
Okay,
So-
that was my next question.
Yeah.
I have a long list of questions here for you, just for
Oh,
the
yeah,
record.
yeah.
So
We'll
hopefully
get
we
to
can
it,
get through
'cause-
it in our time.
Yeah, no, I just want to talk about the future a little bit because the beginning of the movie is
Okay.
where we get the most chunk of time. One other thing, and I don't know if you're a big fan of Blade Runner, at the beginning of the movie, Jack Death walks past a car as he's going into the diner. Do you remember that car, the red, futuristic, boxy-looking car that was sitting in front of the diner?
I don't remember it off the top of my head.
Okay. It was actually a repurposed prop from the Blade Runner movies. So
That's cool.
They had some connections. They brought this car in. I thought that was pretty fun. I
is
don't
neat.
remember if it was a main vehicle in the movie or just something in the background. But
Okay.
yeah.
Neat.
So he singes this Trancer, and then Nolte, his boss,
McNulty.
McNulty, yep, comes in and he's like, you know, what are you doing, man? You can't just keep hunting these Trancers down. You got orders to do your job. And Jack Death gives his Norar speech. He's like, this is what I'm built for, you know, and turns his badge in. He quits. I'm not going to be a trooper anymore if you won't let me just kill Trancers.
He talks about his wife, right? He's like, ever since my wife died, or they killed his wife. I forget exactly what it was, but I think he mentions it like that's part of his character.
Yeah, and McNulty makes a point to bring it back up when Jack leaves and another just regular cop comes up and he's like he's had it hard since his Trancer killed his wife.
Okay.
You know, so
That's where
yeah,
all right.
so he's it's personal for him. It's personal.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So, and again, this is the last little bit that we're going to see in the future. So the next scene is just Los Angeles underwater. It's a beach. Most of it's underwater, and Jack Death comes out. Apparently, he's into scuba diving, looking for artifacts from long ago, I guess. It's fine. It's cool. It's whatever. You know,
Like mostly he found either bowls or hubcaps. I'm not exactly sure, but it seemed to be one.
yeah,
or two.
in the Sunset Boulevard street sign, and he was
That's
real
right.
happy about that.
Yeah, it was.
But this is where the movie really kicks off. So McNulty finds him on the beach, and he says, "You've got a summons from the council. They want to see you." And Jack Death's like, "I don't bow to no one. I'm not a trooper anymore. I'm out." You know. And McNulty catches him, and he's like, "Whistler's still alive." And Jack Death's like, "I'm in. I got to kill that some." You know.
I love the way he says it. Like as Jack is diving back into the water, McNulty shouts it after him, and then Jack dives in, and then all of a sudden he pops back up and rips his helmet off, and he's like, "What?" and comes back, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Okay, let's take care of this."
Yeah,
And
super
just
dramatic.
the timing, it was so dramatic. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yep. But so Jack Death's back in and gets his trench coat on, slick back hair, and he goes to meet the council. This is, you know, where the real setup really happens. So Whistler has gone back in time. He's inhabited the body of his old detective ancestor in 1985, and is what he's doing. This is, I get the Terminator connection now. Whistler's back trying to kill the council members' ancestors, so those council members will never live. And he's already killed one of them, right?
Yeah.
So you gotta hurry.
There's only two left.
Yeah, it's urgent. So they do a lot of setup for this at this point. The two council members say, "This is my ancestors, who they are in the past. You got to find them. You got to protect them. That's what you got to do." And they walk back into the room where he's going to be sent back in time. And guess who's laying on a bed, unconscious? I'll tell you, this movie, it's got so many weird little spots in it.
It's so weird.
It's Whistler. Whistler's just hanging out on this. I can't remember the kind of bed they call it, but he's just sleeping there. It's just his body, his mind, his consciousness back in 1985.
I'm watching. They have him hooked up to IVs and everything, and I'm watching this, and I'm like, "Why did they send him back? Why is he here?"
It's so confusing. They do say that they found his body in the desert, so he had done this somewhere else. But at this point, you brought him back to the space where you have all the technology you need to send somebody back in time or bring them back. Could you not just force Whistler back at this point?
Just bring him back to the future.
Doesn't matter, though, because Jack is pissed that he's there, and he singes him right there on the table.
That's when my eyes kind of really opened up, and I was like, oh, it's going to be that kind of movie. Like,
Yeah.
he's just killing people.
He's just going to kill people.
Yeah, so now Whistler is stuck in the past, basically. His mind, he cannot come back
Yeah.
to the future.
He can't. Yeah, which seems like a really bad play to me. Because you've locked him now in the one place where he can do the most damage. So,
Right? I mean, he could just start changing all of history. And not that it'll do him any
Yeah.
good, because he is not there, but, he can just
Yeah.
be angry and do whatever he wants.
so yeah, he gets, so Jack Duck gets his time travel, kit. I'm going to say his kit. He gets a 38 special revolver, and built into the handle of that are 2 vials of serum that will bring you back to the future. He's just going to kill Whistler anyway. We already know that, but he's got 2 vials of serum.
Yeah.
And he gets 2 pictures of the people he's got to protect for the 2 council members, and his watch that will give him a long second. It'll turn 1 second into 10 seconds.
Genius.
Or movie time, about a minute and a half
My
to 2
goodness.
minutes. So, love that scene. That was, so good.
Again,
It's like 10
very confused. I was like, how long
Yeah.
does this last? What is...
10
How
seconds.
long does the effect last for? Is it just
But
1 second?
Jack is so good. He's still moving so fast that 10 seconds takes a while. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So,
All right.
it's, yeah.
I like it.
So, yeah, so they send him back. And that's really where the movie hits 1985 from that point on. When we come back to the future, you never see anything other than this room they're in with the beds where they're putting people back in time. So we're now in 1985. And I don't know. I mean, at this point, the movie is just all over the place. It's mostly about Jack and Lena falling in love. Their introduction's really impressive, though, because Philip, Death, had scored. I'm just going to say scored with Lena. And that's where Jack gets thrown in. He's, Philip's shaving. Lena's in there. They're all getting dressed and getting ready for the day. And he's got to get her to work. And suddenly Jack Death's thrown into 1985 LA. And he doesn't know what's going on. And he's crass and rude and just confused. And it's just really interesting to see that, that confusion take place, that interaction.
It cracks me up in here before they leave. He has to drive her to work. She's very upset about this. She has to get to work or she's going to lose this very important job as a mall elf. So she's getting really upset. She's like, yeah, all right, fine. So he's going to take her. He puts on a trench coat. She's like, you're going to wear that? Because it's L.A. and it's hot, even though it's Christmas time. And then he slicks his hair back. And she's like,
Bill, if I'm late for work, I'm going to lose my job. What are you doing?
Dry hairs for Squids. Let's get out of here.
it just cracked me up. I don't know why, but I laughed so hard.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, they hate dry hair in the future, apparently. I don't know why, but he does.
Not the squids. Squids are okay with it. So.
Sure.
And if I am understanding, a squid is a mentally weak person that Whistler could overtake.
Right. Yeah, if you're mentally strong enough, he can't trance you.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Or that's
another wrinkle to his mysterious power.
Yep.
Okay.
So, so he gets her to work, not on time, but he gets her there. And this is the part where I really got lost for the first time. So they're there, and the mall Santa's got a little boy on his lap, and they're doing the, what do you want for Christmas, little boy? And the little kid's running through things, and the mall Santa locks eyes on Philip Death. And this is part of what I don't understand. Does Jack Death go back in time and still look like Philip, but we see him as Jack, a la Quantum Leap? We always see him, but we know he's in the body of somebody else. Or do Trancers have an ability to tell who you are? I can't figure that out. But the Santa locks eyes on him, his face goes zombie, and suddenly they're trying to kill each other. And I'm like, how did he even know who Jack Death was?
It is,
make
again,
that connection.
super unclear. My suspicion is that Philip looks one way, Jack looks another. We just see Jack. But that doesn't explain how he recognized him then.
Yeah. So there's a good fight scene.
Lena, I need to talk to you.
Not now, okay?
Listen, I'm not crazy. I need your help.
a Transformer the Decepticon, and John Doe the Mandroid, and a new slot car because my stupid sister busted my old one. Hey Santa, are you listening?
What's wrong with Murray?
He's a Trancer.
What?
He chucks the little boy off his lap, Santa Claus does, which I love that part. I don't know why it was so funny. He just stands up and the kid just like, oh, you know. They get into a fight. Santa Claus is winning. Santa Claus is a tough dude.
Yeah, he's big.
And he's got a big dude. Jack obviously wins, right? Shoots him down with the revolver.
Yeah.
Body doesn't singe as fast as the other ones, which you'll notice. Just pretty interesting to me. Santa's dead, though. Everybody's alarmed. The best part of this scene for me is when the little boy, I don't know if you caught this, looks at his mom and says, he just killed Santa. And he's like so concerned about it. I don't know why I laughed. That's probably traumatizing for a child. So Santa's dead. Then we see Whistler, the detective. He shows up. So this is kind of how you just kind of see this story repeat now throughout the show, right? You've got all the players. Trancers are going to pop up. You don't always know where, but they're going to pop up. Whistler is going to pop up as his detective. And we eventually get into some plot line. I don't know. I'd say the plots. I think, yeah. Okay, so you had questions about the plot. What were your questions? Because the plot starts probably halfway through this movie.
No, I don't have questions about the plot. There just isn't much of a plot. I mean, it's super confusing here. So, we find out pretty quickly that one of the other ancestors of the other council members has already been killed. So
yeah, well, you find that out at the very beginning.
No, another one has been killed now. Now that he's in the past, one of the other people he's supposed to be there to protect is already killed.
Because he doesn't protect them. That's the tanning booth. The tanning salon guy.
He's already dead by the time he gets there. The tanning bed guy was it actually the tanning bed guy? Was that who?
The tanning bed guy is actually the first person he was supposed to protect. Yeah.
I see.
And he tries to tell him that. And he's like, you got to come with me. If you want to live, you got to come with me. So I can protect you and keep you safe. But that guy's been tranced. And he's no surprise. He's an idiot. He's a surfer boy idiot. So no surprise there.
I think, is he trying to kill Jack when he locks him into a tanning booth?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Does he crank it up extra high or something?
He does.
So those third-degree burns are going to kill him in a few weeks?
What it is.
Dehydrate him to death, maybe?
Maybe. But Jack goes in and tells him he's a cop, and he's like, hey, is this about that guy last week? I told him not to mess with the thermo blah, blah, blah. It's like the tanning beds are going to get hot enough to kill people. So he's like, it was only first-degree burns. So tanning beds are deadly, man. You gotta be careful.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, the guy locks him in the tanning bed, turns it up. It's so hot that he singes his trench coat on his shoulder when he's trying to bust the door down.
Yes.
That's how hot this thing is.
And later he's actually just laying against the door. When
right, like it's not a big deal.
Lena comes in. He's told her, Lena, the whole true story at this point.
Yeah, she knows who he is from the future.
And she decides to stick it out with him. But she comes in, she finds a surfboard wedged against his door, she moves it, and she lets him out. But he is right there. He is just laying against the door. It's so hot that a minute before it singes him and burns him.
Yeah.
But now he's okay. He's just laying against it.
He's
comfortable.
Fine. Yeah. He got used to it. He adjusted to the heat. Yeah. And when Lena comes in, though, that's when you realize, for some reason, the guy killed himself. So he was tranced, tried to kill Jack Death, shot himself. Lena comes in just in time to see the body singe, which was the other thing about Santa Claus. It took forever for this body to singe.
Till the cops got there.
Yeah, it turns red and disappears. I don't know. It's pretty crazy. It happens while it's in the body bag, and Whistler's like, "Get this thing out of here." It's like there's nothing in there to get out of here.
These paramedics are going to notice it's empty.
Right? Where'd the body go?
Yeah.
Where did the body go?
The guy run off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my question then, it just gets very, very confusing. So I guess that was the first guy he was supposed to save, and apparently
and he fails.
And I don't know why that guy was tranced instead of just killed outright. If that's what Whistler's trying to do is kill people, Yeah. I was then very confused the whole rest, how they were trying to track down the other person that he was supposed to be saved, which it's a homeless guy. He's a former professional baseball player, and now he's homeless, and that's why they can't just go to his address. They don't know where he is. But how they were tracking him down or what was going on for much of the rest of the movie, really what it turns into for much of the movie is Whistler hunting Jack.
And Hap Ashby, that's the other guy they got to protect.
Until they get back to Hap at the end. Once they find Hap, then it gets back to the protection part of it. But it was a lot of confusion over who was who and who he was trying to save and why and how he was finding him. And really all the reasoning and logical parts.
Yeah. Well,
all the fun was there. All the action, the fun chases.
there's no logic there at all.
Okay.
So you got to throw logic out the window with this movie. I mean,
feel
this is
better.
the kind of movie where when Jack's driving the car and he's got his hands on the steering wheel and he can take a full 180 to the left, a full 180 to the right. He can stare at Lena for like 30 seconds at a time, and he always drives straight. It's that kind of movie. His steering wheel etiquette is, there's so much play in that car. It's not safe to drive. Don't drive it.
No mortal human could handle it except for Jack Death.
Except for Jack Death. And he talks about, hey, I love this car. It's great, as he's like swinging the steering wheel. So.
And sadly, he has to leave it behind pretty quick. You know, he tells her, like, she has blue hair, which is the one way that we can identify that she's a punk girl. Yeah. Is that she has a little thing of blue hair, and he tells her it's got to go. He says, hey, I gave up the car. You got to give up the hair.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't buy Helen Hunt as a punk rocker in this movie. No. Like, that little bit of blue is really the only indicator. Otherwise, she seems pretty straight-laced, and, you know, she did fine. I just thought it was a little silly how she's supposed to be this hardcore punk girl, and she ain't. Yeah,
he makes her get rid of the blue hair, and you'll notice that twice in the movie it goes to purple, and then by the end it's red. so she still stands out, but it's the blue that's really going to get her caught. That's how they stall her.
Only blue. The other ones are all fine.
Yeah, the long second too. We didn't talk about that.
That happened in there.
Yeah. Whistler catches up to him. He's got two cops, Lena and Jack at gunpoint. You know, doesn't know what to do, so he uses his long second, and this is where it literally takes like a minute. He pushes the button, and it's mostly just Jack I feel like he's just trying to figure out what the hell's going on. He's like, whoa, like everything is moving slow.
He spends half of it just watching a bullet race by and just barely miss Lena. What if he did? Yeah. What if that was on target?
Right, like I would have killed her.
Yes.
Like you had this long second, you still let her die. But yeah, he picks her up and takes forever to run to the car, and just as they get in the car, that's when the long second's up. But it's the longest 10 seconds of your life.
I wondered, like, I thought maybe I misinterpreted how it worked. I was like, maybe it's a long second, but it lasts for 10 normal seconds, which means he would have like 100 seconds. But I don't think that's it. I think it's just 1 second.
It's 1 second turns into 10. Because when he looks at his watch, by the time they make it back to the car, he's got 4 seconds left. So it took him 6 seconds to watch a bullet in slow motion, pick up Lena, run to the car, and nobody can move that fast. You're not going to pick up a woman and run her to the car that's in the front of this building when you're in the back alley and do all that in 6 and still have 4 seconds. No. So movie time's amazing. It's so good.
Yes.
Yeah. What else stood out?
I mean, I honestly really liked the long second. I thought that was kind of neat how they did that.
Yeah, it's cool. What else stood out to you?
So there was a line in there that I liked where they're splitting up at the end. You know, so they find the guy that they're looking for.
They find Hap.
He's homeless.
He's playing baseball with some other homeless guys.
A very long, odd scene where they're playing baseball with an empty booze bottle, and he sends a pitch of the bottle right down the pipe, and the guy strikes out. You know, it's a very long scene. It's very weird. But so they find him. They get out of there. He's coming with them. They each have like little scooters or motorcycles
that they hot-wired. Lena knew how to hotwire.
She knew how to do it. Yeah. And she hops on one, and Hap is like, I want to ride with the girl. And Jack Death is like, get over here, buddy, you're coming with me. And they split up.
We better split up. We don't stand a chance. Divide and conquer, that's what we should do. Meet us in Chinatown.
You don't know your way.
Yeah, I do. We have to swim through here.
I loved it, but that was a callback to the future that I want to see more of. You know, that was one of the reasons. So, trying to think, what else was there in there? We did. So at one point, what about Little McNulty?
I was just going to bring that up. So
nice.
Yeah, so Jack and Lena are holding up in this random person's apartment, and right before Jack's finally going to get a little action, somebody knocks on the door. He opens it, and there's this little girl standing at the door. But it's McNulty. Poor guy, that was his only ancestor close enough at the time, I guess.
So again, my issue with that, he's like, I had to do all the stuff. I had to even sneak out past the parents. Why couldn't he be one of the parents?
The parents, I know. It's because they wanted the gag. They were in it for the gag.
Maybe she's adopted. Maybe we'll put it. Maybe.
Okay, there you go.
I'm just guessing. I'm trying to think of a way to make it logical. But
Yeah.
it is funny. It is hilarious.
It's a
to
funny
have her
scene
there,
though.
Have him there
Yeah,
as a little girl.
and then have this little girl like, well, who's the lady? Nice, I like the
Yeah.
broad, you know. And it's just like so weird. But he's telling Jack, you got to come back. You failed. One person already died. They need you back here. And this is where you find out they can snap you back because Jack doesn't use the serum to send himself back.
No, but I think McNulty has a serum, and he injects it into Jack. Like, he closes the door, and
He
then...
picks her up and throws her out the door.
Yeah.
Him.
Closes the door. And then, as he goes back to trying to seal the deal with Lena, we look over at the window, and little McNulty, baby McNulty, whatever we want to call her, little kid, is there.
Yeah.
And she does something through the window.
Does she?
She does.
I see her pop up, and I'm just like, that's weird, but I don't remember her doing anything. So maybe she does hit him with the serum.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then he, right as he's getting ready to, lock it down with Lena, he wakes up back in the future.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Yeah. And he gets told that he's not doing a good job. He convinces them that he is. And he gets to come back to 1985.
Right.
And he's so disappointed because once again, Philip got to have all the fun.
Right.
And poor Jack didn't get to have any.
Nope. Everything is done by the time he gets back.
Yeah.
He missed the headliner.
Yeah.
Yep. Unfortunate. Yeah, I just realized something.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird that this time travel movie takes place in 1985, as does one of the other greatest time travel movies of all time, Back to the Future.
Oh, you're wearing your shirt for it. You planned that, didn't you?
I did not. I honestly did not. To me, this isn't even a time travel movie. This is like, it's a sci-fi chase movie. I don't even think about it as time travel. People going from one place to another. 1985 in both movies, and they are such drastically different movies.
Completely different movies.
Completely different.
Yeah.
Anyway, that just hit me. You mentioned back to 1985, and I was like, hey, wait a second.
Yeah. There's a lot of influence in it. So, I mean, that's the movie. I think we hit like some of the best parts.
Yeah.
There's a scene where Jack's watching some old TV shows. It's an old noir police show, and Jack Death goes, "Can you believe this guy's name is Peter Gunn?" And Lena's like, "Really? Your name's Jack Death?" And those are the things that tell you they're making fun of themselves. They understand what this movie is, and that's why you can just enjoy it. They're not taking it serious.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, that's there's another scene at the end where he gets another long second watch, right?
He does.
Like they send him a refill case. It just shows up in his hand one day while he's walking. Lena and Whistler, they're all fighting on a rooftop, and Whistler throws Lena over the side of the top of the building. So Jack hits his button. He now has 10 seconds to get out to the front of the building, and which he does amazingly enough, and he catches her as she eases down into his arms. And then, a few seconds later, Whistler falls off the top of the building and lands in a pool, like in the exact same place where she was going to be falling. He fell from the exact same place and lands in a pool, and he's fine.
He falls. Is what kills me is so Lena falls straight down. She's going to hit the sidewalk. When Whistler falls, he's hanging on to the side of the building. He's going to the exact same spot. But somehow, as he comes off the building, he does fall forward over the sidewalk and into the fountain in the street.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. And that's just insane to me.
All right, I saw that part and I was just like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Make it make sense. Yeah.
So, it's honestly, it's one of those types of movies that if you think about it too much, it's probably going to ruin it for you. You just have to sit down and enjoy it and turn your brain off for a little bit, honestly, which we should all do every once in a while.
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
And there's some cool dialogue at the end between the two of them, because he doesn't die when he falls into the pool. Jack's got him at gunpoint, and they're talking. He opens up the gun, because he's going to use the serums at that point. He realizes one of the serums is busted.
Yeah.
So he's only got one.
Left. Is he out of bullets?
I don't know. I think it's more just that they had to have him use the serum. I think that was one of the loose plot points, is that you've got the serums to bring you and Whistler back to the future.
Okay.
So,
all right.
And that's how he ends up doing him in. He tells him, he's like, I send you back in the future, bro. Yeah. You can't go back.
You got nowhere to go back to.
Yep. And he sticks him in the chin with the serum.
And he's going.
We think. Now, we think.
Right.
Because
There's
his
5 more of these movies.
Yeah. So the detective comes back, and this is what killed me. He was just fine with everything that was happening. I don't know how I got here. I don't know who you are. I don't know what's going on. And he was just like so dumb that Hap Ashby, Jack's like, take care of this guy. And Ashby's like, yeah, come on, man. It's like, wouldn't you be way more alarmed if you realized that you just missed like 3 days of your life and you had no idea what's going on?
Right.
You wouldn't be so calm about it.
Right.
But this guy wasn't worried. So
things will work out in the end. things will all
Yeah.
work out in the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where it ends. Like, Jack, since he used that serum, he can't go back to the future. He's happy staying there in the past with Lena. However, then, as it's closing, we do see McNulty in the little girl's body again, kind of standing over in the shadows nearby.
Yeah, he's going to bring him back. So you know
at some point, right.
Yeah.
And I kind of wondered, I've looked a little bit. So after this, there's the second movie, but there's also like a short film that takes place between the two, which hopefully we watch that one too. But I kind of read a little bit of the high level plots of these, and I don't think McNulty brings him back right away. I think it actually happens a little ways
like later,
at the beginning of one of the next movies. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when there's another threat. It's like one of those things.
Yeah.
Hey, we need you back.
We know where he is. We'll get him later.
Yeah, we need you back now.
So it was cheesy and campy, but honestly, like, the fights were good, the special effects were good.
Yeah.
Like, the way it was filmed and everything, I thought it didn't look cheesy and campy. Some around the plot and things like that, you're just like, well, that doesn't really make a lot of sense. And that's fine. But it looks cool. It looks good, especially for a movie from the 80s, mid 80s.
Yeah, I agree. The biggest issue was the script, but I think it was on purpose. I think a lot of the decisions they made were because they had a $400,000 budget and they hired a comedian to play the lead role, so they're leaning into it a little bit, and they do some things that don't make sense, and I'm okay with that, Like, it's not Christopher Nolan here, so it doesn't have to be perfect. But I think that's what's endearing about it, is that they know what they're doing. They know what kind of movie they're making.
It's not even James Cameron. Come on. It's, you know, Terminator, Cameron,
Yeah.
Not even that. So,
yeah.
This was fun. I'm very glad that you recommended this and that we got to watch it.
Yeah. We've talked about it for a long time, so I'm glad you finally
Honestly,
got to it.
I think you even let me borrow your DVD set once.
I did. Years ago.
I never watched one of them. Yeah.
No, I know. It's okay. As it happens with us, so.
It's hard.
Yeah, so.
It's hard. Yeah. So this was fun. I liked it a lot. Hopefully, listeners, you have enjoyed hearing about the movie Trancers. You should go watch it.
Go watch it. It's on Tubi. If you want to check it out. I think they're all on Tubi, even the short
whole
film.
series, even
on
the short
Tubi.
one.
It's all there.
They're all on Tubi.
Helen Hunt went on to great things. She was huge, massive star in the 90s, just really amazing. Tim Thomerson, you don't hear much about him, No. I don't think he did much, but I'm thankful that he did these movies.
Do you have anything else to discuss about Trancers, or are we wrapping up this extra special episode?
Yeah, this is just an extra special episode, like you said, Rob. I hope we get to do more of these.
Me too.
We'll get better at these, the movie reviews.
This is really just kind of something fun that we did, between seasons. And to tide you over until we come back for the beginning of season 2 here pretty soon, where we will be watching Kindred, the Embraced.
Yes.
So very excited to
I watched the pilot. I'm ready to get into that one.
Absolutely.
So it's something else.
Yep.
So.
Yep. That'll be our next recording. So
yeah, and if you're just listening to this and you haven't checked out season 1, we did a full watch through and review and discussion on the 1994 classic Earth 2.
Yep.
So go check that out. It's
Absolutely.
good stuff.
Listen to it, watch it, subscribe, like, and review as much as possible. We appreciate any comments.
Yep.
All right. Well, we got to get out of here. So, hey, I've been Rob.
And I'm Aaron. Thanks for listening to the special episode. And we'll talk to you all later.
See you in season 2.
Bye, everyone.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Rob, your usher to the box office of the past.
And I'm Aaron. I don't have a catchy title, and I don't even know how to follow that up, Rob. You get me with those sometimes.
It's been a long time since I've done one. I like.
Yeah, and they always get me. I like the surprises, though. We're here to do something a little different in between the typical. Hold on, Rob's holding a finger up. Yes, sir. What did I miss?
And this is Broadcast Obituaries. Welcome back, everyone.
It's what you told me not to forget to do.
The one thing.
This is. Yeah. Let me do that again. Let me do that. Your openings threw me. And you even said, should I tell you what my opening is so that it doesn't mess you up? And I still let it mess me up. Let me do mine again. And I'm Aaron, and welcome back to Broadcast Obituaries.
I had one little tidbit that I found here. So this was directed by Charles Band, right? His son, he has a son named Alex Band, and he is in a band, or was, called The Calling. Do you remember The Calling?
I do.
They released the album, I can't remember the name of the album, but they had the song, Wherever You Will Go, which was named the #1 song of the 2000s. Like, it was a massive song. It actually came out in 2001. But that was his band, The Calling. I think they only had 2 CDs. But he still performs solo, I think, and does really a lot of The Calling songs, I think. But he just plays kind of acoustic and go from there.
Yeah. That sounds really familiar, The Calling. They did, hang on, I gotta look it up. They did the theme song to Smallville, Save Me. That's how I know them. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Somebody save me. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I know that one too. Thanks for singing that. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome. That's all you'll get.
I hope you can anticipate a record contract coming.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So I thought that was a neat little, it's not a tie-in really, but a nice little interesting thing to learn. I thought it was cool.
Yeah, it's cool to see how things connect oddly to different things just through, what we grew up with.
Yeah.
So.
And it really just proves that there is no end to nepotism. So if you know somebody, you can become famous. That's really all it takes.
Yep. It's what it is. It's what it's all about.
You work in Hollywood? Well, what can your kid do?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Sad.
Anyway. Yeah. I haven't seen the other Trancers movies, so I don't... Does he inhabit other ancestors in other of the movies? Disregarding 6, because I know that's like a female ancestor. But
yeah.
Does he always... Is it 1985 and Philip Death all the time?
I don't remember all the details because it's been a while since I've seen him.
Okay.
So...
Well, we'll find out as we eventually get to all these movies. But I'm pretty sure you still have a few books that I've let you borrow, and I'm still waiting on you to read those. So it's fine. No big deal.
They're
no big deal.
next on
Take your
my
time.
list.
Yeah, I'm sure they are. I'm sure they are.